My name is Méara and welcome to the episode 30 of the Méara Knitting Podcast, where I share all my thoughts, process and other random stuff about all things fiber related, but mostly knitting. So today is the 17th of August 2024 and I'm coming to you from the French-speaking part of Switzerland where I live with my gecko. And some of you have met my gecko now, finally! You can find me on Instagram as milahis.tinks and you can find links of everything I talk about down in the description box below, as well as my measurements if you are interested. It feels like 2 months since the last time I did the podcast, but it's only been 2 weeks as usual. So yeah, it's pretty weird, and even less because, as the returning viewers might know, I did a week, 4 days of vlogs last week, so it's been only 1 week since the last time I filmed, but for some reason it feels like a lifetime ago. But I guess it's a good thing, because it means that I did a lot of stuff and my time feels really full, so it's a good thing. It also means that today I have a lot of knitting and just fiber stuff to show, but I'm not going to show everything I did during the summer vlogs from last week, because I showed it already in the vlogs, so I'm just going to show you the big finished objects stuff, which means 5. I'm going to show 5 finished objects, and I have 2 works in progress, and I don't have any acquisitions, as usual. I have bought some books, but again I have showed them already in the vlogs, so if you're interested you can just go and watch that. It's the episode 4, I think, where I received them. Yeah, so let's get into it. So the first finished object is the one I'm wearing, which is new actually. I finished it last Sunday, so it's a dress, but you can see everything. I'm just going to go on the couch. Yeah, there. So it's a cute dress with like a tie at the waist that goes around. And it has a short row split hem kind of thing, situation going here. You can't really see it actually, but yeah. And it's super cute. And it's very flowy and light, and I'm super proud of it. So, it's a self-drafted design, so there is no published design for it, sorry. I told this about 600 times already, but I have a store-bought camisole that I love, and I wanted to see if I could replicate it with knitting, and I did it. After, on the 3rd try, I think, I did it, and I figured why not make a dress, so I did it. So yeah, this is the camisole I mentioned, but I just added a dress, so it has increases in the middle and on the back here, as well as on the sides. And you can go and watch the latest episode, episode 29, if you want more details on the construction. But yeah, this is the finished result, and I'm super proud. The yarn I used is Tynn Line by Sandnes Garn. I have 1 ball left. I used a little less than 5 balls. And this is the 6th one that I'm going to bring back to the shop, because I don't need it, and it's the colorway 8561. So that's what it looks like. I love it. So yeah, the fabric it creates, it's absolutely gorgeous, and this is not wet blocked, I only steam blocked it. So yeah, it's perfect pairing of yarn and garment. Not pattern, because it's not a pattern, but yeah, you see what I mean. So I used 3mm needles for the whole thing, and I knit it in exactly 3 weeks. Yeah, I love knitting in the round. So the only new things I have to add regarding the construction of the dress is the bottom, like the short row hem I did, with the split that you can't see anymore, but I'm not going to climb on the couch again. I did the same on the front and on the back, and it's kind of frustrating because actually I can't have a real like feeling of satisfaction that I have finished a huge project, because I'm not 100% happy about the length, because I feel like it's a little bit too long for my tastes. I wanted it to be a little bit shorter, and it's really annoying me because actually I stopped at a certain point when I knew it would be the correct length if I added the short rows like I intended to. But for some reason I had no like knitting work in progress on my needles. I had only big stuff I'm going to show afterwards that I couldn't really like take with me on the go. So this was the only project I had, and I just continued knitting on it because I had nothing else, and I didn't have the time to cast on something else, because all the other stuff I wanted to cast on were stuff where I needed a lot of brain power and quiet time to actually do the cast on, and I needed immediate knitting. So I continued knitting on the dress even though it was long enough, and now it's too long, of course. It's so annoying. So yeah, I'm just contemplating ripping back the whole short rows and then taking out 3 centimeters and then doing the short rows again for both rounded hems, and I don't want to. I know it won't take too long, but yeah, I'm just so done. I need so much on it. Yeah, you get what I mean. So I cannot really have a feeling of satisfaction with this because I feel like it's not perfect, and I need to shorten it. But if I do it, I'm gonna have leftover yarns again, and I have already finished the leftovers. I'm going to show you that after this, and I don't want to have more leftovers because I have finished it now. I'm done with this yarn. Yeah, it's kind of it's frustrating. Anyway, so that's where I'm at for now. I don't know. I have no idea what I think. So yeah, we shall see in the next episode what I end up doing. Probably nothing. I don't know. And the problem is also that I haven't wet blocked it yet. I have only steam blocked it, so I'm probably gonna get even more length than I want, so I'm probably going to shorten it after I wet block it, I think. I don't know. Anyway, so the leftovers I have already used are there. But you can't see it, so I'm going to turn around. So I did what I always do with my leftovers when I have less than 20 grams. It's an Augustins number 22 by Anne-Sophie Velling, and I love this pattern. So I have brought another one, the last one I did before this one, to show you. So it's basically just a cute little bow. I'm completely doing my own thing with the numbers and the number of stitches I cast on, with the number of rows you work, the needle size, everything. I'm just doing my own thing. And I also changed the cast on and the bind off technique, because you're supposed to sew the bottom and the top. It won't make any sense if you don't know the pattern, but it doesn't really matter. What I mean is that the original pattern has like a ridge at the top and the bottom of the ribbon, and mine don't, because I did Judy's Magic Cast On for the bottom, and then I did a Italian bind off, sewn bind off to close the top, so that I have seamless edges. And it's not necessarily better than the original pattern, because all my other bows are made the original way, but I just wanted to change things up. So I did the same for this one. So yeah, it's just a cute bow. The problem with this one is that I cast on a little bit too many stitches, and it's a little bit too thin. So I'm not 100% happy with the proportions, but since I have like 12 grams of yarn left, and it would be a little bit too much calculations to calculate exactly how many stitches I need to cast on if I want this much width, and I'm not ready to do that, so I just cast on whatever and see how much I can knit. And in this case it ended up being a little bit too thin. But I think it works. I mean, you cannot see it, but I think it's okay. I'm not going to do it again, especially because there is like a sewn bind off, Italian bind off thing, and I just don't want to do it again. Unraveling it is okay, but doing it a second time, nope. Especially because I'm doing a ton of Italian bind-off grafting these days. I'm gonna show you afterwards, and I'm just done. Yeah, so that's it for this one. I used everything, and again, I don't want to have more leftovers if I end up shortening the dress, because now I'm at 0, exactly 0. I even had to undo the last bit of swatch, like I had a little bit of a tail left that I had just threw in the corner, thinking I'm probably never going to use it, but I'm just going to keep it if anything happens. And I finished the bow, knitting the bow, and you actually need a little bit more yarn to attach it in the middle here, which I completely forgot. So I finished the bow and I had like this much of a tail left, and was like, how am I going to do the knot in the middle? And that's when I remembered I had kept this weird length of tail in the corner, so it literally saved my life. Otherwise, I don't know, I should have done the knot in another color, but it's okay, it worked out. Yeah, so that's what I did with the leftovers of the dress, but I have also knitted another summer camisole, also a self-tufted design, and I had like 20 grams left over, and it was knitting for olive pure silk, so I wanted to do another bow, but 20 grams is a lot. Like really, it would make a big bow. So I did this one first. I cast on, I think, 300 stitches on 3mm needles, and I knew I had a lot more yarn of the pure silk, so I figured I can cast on a little bit more stitches and add a few more rows so that it's wider. And that would kind of equilibrate, I don't know how you say that, the proportions, so that I would like it. Which it did, but as I said, 20 grams is a lot, and it's way too big. I haven't finished it yet because I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do, but this is what I have knit. So this is the ribbon you knit in the round in this direction, and it's so big. So if I fold it to form the bow, it's huge, like it's bigger than my head almost. Yeah, it looks like this, and everything is too long. This is hanging out too low, this is too wide. It's just too big, and it's bigger than my head, I mean. Yeah, and I just don't want to wear it. I could finish it, but I'm never going to put it in my hair, even if I wear the corresponding top. It's super cute though. So what I think I will do, I have two options. Either I unravel everything and then knit a smaller one, and then I have some leftovers I don't know what to do with. Or I just finish it as is and I use it as home decor. I can put it on my front door, I don't know. But I think I'm gonna do that anyway, because yeah, it's cute. Finish it like this and use it as decoration somewhere, or on a doorknob, or I don't know. It's not finished. Also because I forgot to block it before filming. I should have done it yesterday, but I forgot, so I just need to block it. So that's my third finished object. I just wanted to mention also that I found a way to do very clean Italian bind-off, like graftings, with like silk or plant yarns, because on this one you won't really see it, but the edge I grafted is kind of messy, and even after wet blocking, you can still see it's like not as clean as the cast on edge. The cast on edge here, actually I took a picture of this one. So the bottom edge is the cast on edge, is super neat and clean, and you can see on the right of the picture it's also super neat and clean, and on the left it's like wavy, messy, the gauge isn't right, it's just not working. And what happened here is that on the right of the stitch marker I have done the trick I found out to neaten the grafting, the Italian bind-off, and on the left I haven't done it yet. So this is the like what happens when you just do the grafting. And the trick is so simple. Like, I'm annoyed at myself that I haven't found it earlier, but when you do the grafting, so you have your live stitches here, you have those from the front and from the back layers, so you have all your two needles here holding the stitches, and then you're doing the grafting here. So the grafting is happening in a fold, and when it's here, it's difficult to actually identify which loop or which stitch you're seeing is the one from the live stitch you just crafted or from the actual thread you are making the path with. So it's difficult to know which one you need to tighten up or maybe loosen up a little bit to get a clean edge, because it's on the fold, so it's like this. So yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, it's just difficult to see. And I suddenly had the idea, why don't I just like fold it the other way there, so that I can have the grafting stitches that are in the middle of the stockinette, and they are really easy to see. And it's, when you fold it like this, it's super easy to identify which one is the grafting line or grafting path you are following and which stitch you need to tighten up or loosen up to get a very, very clean finish. So if this is the corner and I fold it like this, you can see this one is where I did the decreases, and then the grafting is on this line. And now you cannot see anything. The stitches are completely even because I went back with my needle and I tightened all the stitches so that they would have exactly the same tension as all the other stitches that I have actually knit. So now it's perfect and both sides are looking exactly the same. They are neat and yeah, just clear edges. So that's what you can see in the picture. On the right of the stitch marker are where I have tightened up the stitches, and on the left is where I have only done the grafting. And I did my best to make it neat and tidy, but with silk like this, or plant fibers in general, it's very difficult to have a very tidy finish for when you graft using an Italian bind-off. Or rather, what I have found is when you graft ribbing, like you have only one layer of fabric, it's easier to have a clean finish, but when you have two layers, like in this case, it's much more difficult for some reason. So yeah, that's my trick. Just unfold the fabric like this and then go back and tighten the stitches with the needle. It takes a lot of time, but I think it's so worth it. Like, it looks so good. Especially, like, again, when you see the picture, it's like so much better. So yeah, I took the time to do that, which is another reason I really don't want to unravel this guy, to make it smaller so that I can wear it. Because I have enough bows in my life. I don't necessarily need this one. It would be cute to have a matching bow with the matching top, like in the same yarn color, but I don't need that enough to unravel it and make it smaller, and then have leftovers that I don't know what to do with. So, home decor. Yeah, so that's it for the I don't know which one finished object. The next one I'm gonna show is not knitting, and it's the guy that's sitting behind me, but it's hidden by the pillows, so let me just take them off. Ta-da! It's my first quilt! So I'm probably gonna show you some footage from the vlog, because I took some footage of me holding it there, so you can have a better view. But yeah, it's my first quilt project, so I used the Deco quilt pattern by Lo and Behold Stitchery, and I had no experience in quilting at all. I haven't even really sewn myself any garments. I mean, I have, but only freestyled them, and they are not really, I mean, nothing to do with this kind of project. So yeah, it was my first experience, and it went really well. I'm super proud of what I made. And I finished the quilt top maybe 2.5 years ago, and I was scared of doing the quilting on it because I was scared of ruining everything. So I didn't do it for a whole 2.5 years, and I did the pillows here to practice with using some leftovers fabric from the actual big quilt. And in my head I didn't want it to start the actual quilt before finishing all the cushions, so I had to do all 4 cushions before starting the quilt, and now it's finally done. So I finally finished this huge beast. I did all the quilting and then I added the binding, but I haven't woven in my ends from when I changed the bobbins in the middle of the quilting. So I have some threads hanging out in the middle, but I don't care because it's covered by cushions anyway. and I can't see them, so I don't care. Don't tell anyone, please. So yeah, that's my... Is it the last? I don't even know. Oh no, it's not the last finished object, so I have another one. It's a small, kind of smallish thing. I have knit... I'm gonna show you the back first. I have knit this sweater. It's the No Sweatshirt by Darkened, and it's a raglan style hoodie, cropped, and it's a reverse stockinette. And it's gorgeous, it's one of my favorite sweaters, but I didn't have enough yarn, so the yarn I used on this part and on the top of the sleeves is discontinued based by Woolen Twine Fiber Studio. It's the Corridale sock, and it's a limited edition colorway. It was Aurora, I think, and it's a very pretty variegated purple and green color. Can you even see that? Yes. And it was a fingering weight, so I held 2 threads together, but I had a complete brain fart and I didn't have enough yarn, like, at all. I had 3 skeins. I don't know in what world I thought I could knit a hoodie with 3 skeins of fingering, but I thought I could, so I knit the whole body until like here, and then the sleeves until like here, when I ran out, of course. So I had to find another yarn to complete it, but as I mentioned, the yarn was discontinued and it was a limited edition colorway anyway, so I had to find something else. So I went to Méara Fiber Company and I bought the natural sock base in the colorways Fern and Wildflower Light. And the base is very similar in feeling and makeup. It's not the same fibers, but yeah, it was similar enough. They are like a light green and a light purple colorway, so very similar to the ones that were in the variegated color here. But I wanted to marl them, so as I was holding 2 strands of the variegated, I did a big marl, like this big, to fade in the new colorways from the other dyer. And it's kind of... you cannot really see, I did an amazing job on the sleeves. And on the back of the body, because yeah. But on the front, I'm gonna show you a picture. I had a very obvious line because when I marled the skeins I had to change colors for every round. I mean one of the colors, and you can actually see the float going in the middle of the front because that's where the beginning of round was, and I just completely forgot it was there. I thought it was on the... here, but yeah, I don't know, I just forgot. So yeah, it was really bothering me. And I just wanted something to hide this line because I wasn't gonna like cut into it and turn the body or whatever. Like, yeah, I didn't want it to do that. And yeah, so I needed something to hide this very obvious line in the middle. And I had used this yarn for the I-cords in the hoodie. You can actually see the difference in color because in the hoodie I used only the new yarns, and this is only the 2 variegated together. So you can actually see a difference when they are next to each other, but when they are faded, you can kind of tell, but it's very... it's faded. So yeah, I used this grey, and this is also a discontinued yarn. It's Méara, I don't know, by Olann, which has closed now, and it's a fingering weight, like heavy fingering weight, kind of, I don't know how to say it, it's like milled by Jess, which was the owner of Olann, and she was kind of marling together different colors, and in this case this colorway was called Darkened Room, and it was a grey, but it has tiny specks of yellow, and it went beautifully with the purple and green from the sweater, so that's why I used it here. And it's difficult to tell here because it's a very small bit, but really the pairing is absolutely gorgeous. It's really wonderful together. But this is discontinued, as I mentioned. And what I wanted to do to hide the seam in the middle is to knit a kangaroo pocket, but I didn't have any yarn left because I had used everything in a summer top. But as I mentioned, it's a heavy fingering, it's a non-superwash 100% wool, so it's very warm, so it wasn't really fitting for a summer top anyway. So what I decided to do is reknit the same pattern using another yarn that was more suitable, and then unravel the first one It's the Arrow bralette by Iris H, by the way. Unraveled the whole bralette so that I could use the yarn to knit the kangaroo pocket. So here it is! Oh, I'm so happy! And this is now completely hiding the ugly line I had in the middle. And it's going very well with the I-cord of the hood. And the color is absolutely perfect with this variegated. Because you might think I could have used just any grey yarn. It looked like it, but it's not any grey yarn. It's very subtle and it has this kind of yellowish tint. It's absolutely not gonna show. I'm sorry. But yeah, it's kind of slightly green and yellow. And there is a speckle here. Maybe you can see it. No, you can't. I'm gonna try with my phone. There it is. So yeah, it's really like perfect. So I did it. And you know what? During the vlogs, I did unravel the top, and then I did knit the pocket, and then I sewed it on. I did everything, and it was too small, and it wasn't centered. It wasn't bad, but it was a little bit too small and a little bit not in the center. Like I did a pretty bad job when sewing it on, so I had to like take it back from the sweater and sew it on again. But I was like, if I need to redo something, I might as well just redo everything. So I read back the whole pocket and I started over. I added, I think, 6 stitches so that it would be a little bit bigger. I used 4mm needles. I held the strands double and I knit it again, and then I sewed it in the middle. And now it's perfect! I'm gonna put it on, even though I am super hot, and I'm going to do it just for you. Ta-da! And now it's in the center. So the center is here, and it's in the middle, and I can put my whole hands, and it's not... Before it was like this, like when I had both my hands in, they were going out, but now I can put them in entirely, and my hands are covered, and it's in the middle. And I'm so happy, and this looks uneven, and I sewed the pocket straight, but the hem is not straight, so that's why this is a bit shorter, but I don't mind, it's okay. So, it's looking perfect. I'm so happy, this is finally done. So now I can wear this sweater again, and it's really, really super cool, so I'm glad I did that. And I'm gonna take it off immediately. So that was a very long story for a very small thing, but yeah, I finally finished the saga of this discontinued yarn on this very chaotic sweater, but now it's finally done. So yeah, that's it. I think that's my last finished object, yes. Yeah, I just wanted to add, during the summer vlog series, I did a lot of like small tasks and small stuff to correct finished objects that weren't quite perfect. So I did, for example, this pocket, and then I shortened a lot of straps on some summer camisoles. I think on 5 summer garments, summer tops, I did something to the straps, and a lot of other stuff, but the success rate of those changes was pretty low. Because yeah, as I mentioned, I had to redo the whole pocket for the sweater, and the straps I have changed on the summer tops are really not that great. There are, I think, 2 I need to go back and change because I didn't do a great job. So yeah, I did a lot of stuff, but I did it pretty badly. So yeah, it's kind of frustrating. So yeah, I think I'm going to bite the bullet and really change all of what needs to be changed in the next week, because if I don't do it, I'm never gonna do it, and it's going to linger around for 2 years again. I know myself. So I really need to do it next week. Please hold me accountable to it. My next work in progress is huge, and it is my Arctic morning blanket by Jenny's Hope. I knitted using only unspun yarns, knitted in from Honor Oak Air, and I finished knitting all the hexes, and I am slowly piecing all of them together. And I'm watching the ground there because it's actually in the middle of my living room, which is super annoying because I need to like go around it whenever I want to like go through my living room. So it's kind of a good thing because it's forcing me to work on it quickly because I want this to like leave the ground. So I'm gonna show it. I will use my phone, I think, because I don't want to move the camera to show you. So here's the blanket. That's the sweater. As you can see, I have finished like connecting here those lines. I have made it in stripes, kind of. I have finished all the, I don't know how you call them, but whatever. And then I have started piecing those with those. And I did it for the top part here. And I have 4 lines left to go. But they have a lot of edges to them. So that's a big job actually. I have done maybe half, I think, of the grafting. So it looks like I don't have much left, but actually I do. And yeah, so I'm super done with this project. But it's been a long time, so yeah. I can show you actually this bit like this. So this is what it... Wow! I can't believe how beautiful this is. It looks so much better on camera. I mean, it looks incredible in real life, but seeing it on the camera, it's even more impressive. So yeah, it's a beast. It's a monster, and it's gorgeous. So excited. And yeah, the problem is that it is super warm, as you can guess. It's unspun and it's colorwork, so it's like very thick. And yeah, I have to like have it on me like this when I want to graft an edge, so it's not really the best thing to do when we are in the heat wave, which is the case since a month. But whatever. So yeah, I'm slowly working on this, and I think it can be done. I have 4 lines left to do, and I think I can finish one tomorrow, and then I have 3 left for next week, and then it's done. And then all I have left to do is the edge, the whole like way around, which I'm not really sure what I want to do yet, so it's a good thing that I'm not done. I think I have a lot of this black left over, so I think I will use this color. I wanted to use it for a sweater, but I can find black yarn for the sweater and just use the unspun for this one. And I'm not sure if I should make a garter edge the whole way around, that way the edge is as thick as the colorwork, because I'm not gonna do colorwork for the edge. So if I do garter, it's gonna be just as squishy as the colorwork. Or if I do maybe folded over stockinette, like I do a super long stockinette band and I fold it. But the edges are kind of like they are not straight, so it's gonna be a lot of shaping to do so that I can actually fold it over without having weird creases. So I'm not sure. Or maybe I just do a simple stockinette edge and I just bind it off normally. I don't know if you have any idea. What's in the pattern is, I don't know exactly how it's done, but I think you pick up 3 edges on one border like this, and then you knit garter back and forth, but you don't do any shaping at the corner here. And when you pick up the next one, you do the same thing, so you're gonna have overlapping edges and you're supposed to sew them on top of each other, so it means that on each corner you're gonna have a like double thickness layer, and I'm like, no. I mean, I get why it's super easy to do, and also the instructions are super easy, and it means you don't have to pick up the whole circumference of the whole blanket at once and knit on the whole thing at once. So it's actually a pretty good solution, but I just don't want to do it. Yeah, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I need to find something. Wow. I mean, it's just wow. Anyway, so that's it for this huge work in progress, and the next one is small for now. You may know that I have my first design currently in testing, and it's the Skeeter Skirt, which, as the name implies, is a skirt. And I just I have knit 2 samples, but I wanted to make a third one because the 2 samples I have made are using kind of a Deco gauge, and the pattern is written in a way that you can use whatever yarn you want at whatever gauge you want, from lace weight to worsted weight. You can just use everything. The testers are using a range of yarns and it's working for everyone for now, so we should be good. And the end of the test is approaching, but not coming near yet, because it was a super long test knit period. It started at the beginning of June and it's ending on the 30th of September, so we have 6 weeks left, I think. And I knit my other 2 samples in 3 weeks, but this new one is in lace weight, so it's probably gonna take a little bit more time, I think. So yeah, I just started it 2 days ago. So this is the yarn, and as I mentioned, it's lace weight. So this is Seide lace by Seide Spint. Come on. And it's 800 meters and the colorway is Earl Grey, and it's 100% silk, as you can see by the shine, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And I can show you the swatch I made. So I knitted using 2 different needles. So on the top part, so wow, that's what lace looks like when you knit it, like 100% silk lace. I can't believe it. So this one had a lot of drape, but this is even more. Yeah, anyway, I'm super excited. So the top part here was knit using 3mm needles, and this is knit using 2.75. It's knit flat in stockinette, as you can tell. And this was, of course, this would go a lot more faster because it's 3mm needles, but it's see-through. Don't know how well you can tell, but you can see my face behind. Hey! So yeah, it's see-through. And this one is also, but it's a little bit less. So this is 2.75. Oh, it's also see-through, but less. So I figured it would be best to use the smaller needles, but I actually knit tighter flat than in a round because my pearl rows are tighter usually. And I know when I knit a lot of stockinette in the round, I loosen up even more, so I decided to go down to 2.5mm to knit a whole skirt in lace weight. It's gonna take ages, but it's okay. If I can get these results in the garment, I'm fine. So that's the plan. And I have cast on the waistband. So I am not even on the skirt yet, because I'm doing the waistband, this is double knitting, on 2.25mm. Yeah, because the waistband needs to be a little bit more sturdy. I could have gone down to 2mm, but I didn't. No reason, I didn't, that's it. So that's what it looks like, and you can see there is a gorgeous tonality to the yarn. I really, really love the way it looks. And I mean, it's gonna be enough. I have the elastic here that I'm going to put inside, so it's just a normal elastic band thing, and I'm just going to insert it inside, and then it's going to hold together, and yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. So I am a third of the way through, which is good already, but yeah, it's going super slow, as you can guess, because of the super small needles, but I'm getting there slowly. And it's funny because people in the test knit were complaining that the waistband is a pain to knit. It's going so slowly because you're using kind of small needles, and it's double knitting, and it's tiny stitches, and yeah, it's for sure it's going super slow. But once you're done and you start knitting the skirt, you switch up to bigger needles and you are like flying. And it's so satisfying, it's like the best feeling in the world. So if you ever consider knitting the skirt and you get bored during the waistband, that's normal, and I promise once you get past it, it's gonna fly and it's gonna be an amazing experience, I promise. So that's where I'm at for now. And my plan is to do, I think, 15 centimeters per day, so I should be done in 3 days, I think, which sounds like a good plan. So that's it. And I have no idea how much yarn I'm gonna use. I just didn't want to count. There is a little formula in the pattern to estimate how much yarn you're gonna use depending on your gauge, but I just didn't want to do it. I have 3 skeins, so I have like 2,400 meters. Yes, so that's more than enough. I'm not gonna use everything, so I'm not playing yarn chicken, so I just didn't need to anticipate how much yarn I'm gonna use. So that's it for my second work in progress, and I think it's the last one. I have another one, but I haven't touched it in like a whole month, so I don't really need to show it. I guess that's it for today. It's actually lunchtime since quite a while, and I get pretty aggressive when I'm hungry. I'm one of those people, so I'm pretty impressed at myself that I'm not starting to insult everything I do because I'm pretty hungry. So I'm gonna sign off now. Kind of. I just wanted to mention some live stuff. Ah yes, because I had forgotten why. I have some footage of climbing. So I showed, again during the vlog series, I showed some footage of me when I was climbing at my local gym, and I showed one boulder, and I said that I tried it just to show you, but I knew I couldn't do it because it was just too difficult for me. And I tried again a few times since then, so it's been like 10 days, and I tried again and again and again, and I did it! I finally did it, I can't believe it. So yeah, it's a funny one because it's actually, there is a jump and you're like, you know what, I think I'm gonna do a voiceover thing so that I can explain what's happening at the same time that I'm showing it to you. So I will show you the first footage because it's one where I actually fail so that you can see what it looks like when you cannot stick it. That's me walking to the boulder. It's a sit start, so I need to have my butt on the ground, and the first few moves are not really hard, but they can be really tiring if you don't do them well, so that's why I'm trying to go really fast in the beginning. So that's the position where you have to jump, so I'm just taking there trying to do the jump, but I just missed the hold. The problem is that I didn't jump high enough, and when I landed on the hold, my arms were already straight, and it's super difficult to hang on something when your shoulder is not engaged. And when you jump on something like this, you need to have the shoulder not like this, but like this. That's when it's engaged, and that's when you can actually hold some weight. But I couldn't jump high enough, and you can see if I show it again what my feet are doing. Basically just a mess, and they are just going in every direction, like I'm doing weird kind of frog style jump, and it's just, yeah, not a good position. So in the second attempt, it's actually really good that I filmed myself, because it's when I saw what I did that I could identify what I was doing wrong and I could correct it. Because people were telling me, oh, you need to jump higher, you need to do this with your feet and everything, but I couldn't really understand what they were saying because I couldn't see it myself. But the fact that I filmed it really helped me a lot. So that's the second footage where I actually stick the move. So the beginning again, I'm going super fast because I don't want to lose any power on it. So now again into the jumping position, and there I jump higher, and that's when I stick it. So I have a lot more strength in my shoulder because it's engaged, and that's when I can actually finish the move. And the lighting is also doing me justice, and that's where you can see, maybe I'm always complaining that the tops and sweaters I knit are too small for especially my back, and now you can see why I'm saying that. So yeah, the top wasn't very hard, but you're really pumped and tired, so it's difficult to really do the correct moves, because yeah, if you do mistakes, you're off the wall. So yeah, I finally stick that boulder. So yeah, super happy and proud of myself. Because I'm not really good at jumping, so it was a big one for me. Yeah, and I have another funny thing to say. This morning, it's related to climbing again. This morning a friend of mine called me, and she said, actually she's my best friend and I know her mom pretty well, and she called me and she said, hey, my mom went on vacation, and she usually like just takes a backpack and goes camping in the mountain by herself, and she did that for some vacations, and she left her bag near a cliff and unfortunately the bag fell down the cliff. So she lost all her stuff, and it was down the cliff, so it was super dangerous to go alone. And she spent 2 days like trying to walk her way around the cliff, finding maybe she could like go down from another path and then climb up somewhere, but she just couldn't. So she had to go home, and she asked her daughter if maybe she knew someone that would do climbing and could maybe use a rope to go down the cliff and get the bag up. So of course she thought of me and she called me and said, "Hey, would you like to go on a rescue bag mission?" Yeah, of course. So yeah, I'm gonna have a rescue bag operation next week, which is gonna be pretty funny. I don't think I'm gonna be able to film it because it's pretty dangerous by the cliff, and I'm not gonna be able to like set up a camera or anything, but yeah. And actually there's another funny thing, is that while she was searching for the bag around the area, she met someone that was like piloting or driving, I don't know, piloting a drone. So they asked them, "Would you mind like putting your drone over the cliff and just look if you can find my bag?" Like, what were the chances she would find someone that had a drone that could help her? And the person did, so I have actually a picture of where the bag is, which is going to be pretty helpful to find it. So yeah, I just thought it was a funny story. And that's it for today's episode as well. So I'm now going to eat before I punch someone in the face. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I wanted to also thank everyone that watched the vlogging series from last week and that said so many cute and sweet words on the last video, and on all the video actually, but that said they enjoyed the series, that enjoyed the vlogs, they enjoyed everything, because I poured my heart and soul into them. There was so much work, and yeah, it just makes me so happy to hear that you guys enjoyed it. So thank you for telling me that you enjoyed it, and even if you didn't tell me, thank you for watching them. Thank you for your support, and I hope I will see you back on the channel soon, and thank you again. Happy knitting. Bye.